my favorite feature, you can take it in your hands. It's like a jet taking off every time you hit the accelerator. Ladies and gentlemen, good day. We have the Bentayga W12 from 2016. This is not a professional review, it's just me being bored on a Monday, Tuesday afternoon. It's 7 o'clock and the sun is still up and still warm. That's why I'm doing this video now, because it's still 28 degrees. If I tried to do this earlier, I would be mad. So here's the Bentayga. We're gonna have a look at it together and we're gonna start from the key, because I think it's a cool element in cars that is often forgotten in reviews or, you know, walk-arounds. We have one side with a beautiful B logo, which actually looks very cool if you're one of those people that like to put it on a table while you're eating with your friends to show off that you have a Bentley. And then turning on the other side, we have the buttons with the unlock, lock, the tailgate, and here you have, in some markets, you also get the button for the panic button, you know, in case you want the car to start to scream. Let's have a look at the front. Something that I particularly like of this generation Bentayga that the new one doesn't have are these. So this couple of headlights right here, this is where you have the high beam, of course. Then here, this becomes a turn signal, but it's also a daylight, a day running light, whatever that's called. You know, with the new regulations, every car has to have some part of the front lights on. But what I particularly like is that right here, this actually comes out and gives you the headlight washer. And that's very, very cool because it's, you know, a moving part of the car that I love to see. Chrome grille over here. And then something that I will tell you is that this lower part of the grille here is in plastic, but it's a 1,200 euros option if you wanted to have chrome, just like this grille. Unfortunately, this car doesn't have it. The owner, my brother Hamdi, bought it second hand, and this is how the previous owner spec'd it. These are the rims, 22-inch rims. They fit the car quite well, in my opinion. Stylish, not particularly exciting, but not ugly at the same time. You can have exactly the same shape, slightly more chrome, and I think those look absolutely stunning. Here we have something very cool, which actually works better if you see it on the other side. Come with. It's a B. A little side vent looking like a B. Very stylish. Of course, on the other side it's mirrored. And a small touch. Have a look through the windshield. I don't know if you can see it on camera, at the beauty of the leather inside. I have the list option of this car. This is called Camel, the color of the leather. Very, very elegant seat. Very elegant seat. One of the options that this car has, for instance, is this little comfort headrest, which you can fold, adjust a little bit like you have on airplanes. This is an option, the embroidered Bentley logo. Have a look at this beautiful quilted leather. Fantastic on the seats, making it very, very comfortable. Look, this one, for example, I will show you something that is very, very interesting. Apart from the massage settings, the whole seat settings, etc., you have these 4 buttons. They inflate and deflate, look, the sides of the seat, so you can be more comfortable. You can be hugged by this part here and by the part here of the back, you know, for the sides. Additionally, this is the other button I wanted to show you. This actually regulates, I will have to show you on the other side, but actually makes the seat belt go up and down. Have a look. See? So this goes up and down depending on your height and makes the seat belt hug you in a more comfortable way depending on your body shape, etc. So see, these are the small details that matter when you spend 250,000 euros on a car, which is more or less the value of this car when she was new. Depreciation, etc. took place, so now she's worth less. You can pick one up on the market in good conditions with a decent mileage for about 150 nowadays. If you want, you can go cheaper, but then you have to really look out for what you're getting. Fantastic wood all over the dashboard, here in front of the passenger, here on the dashboard as well, and the materials are just exquisite all over. It's a Bentley after all. Wherever you touch, wherever you look, it's absolutely exquisite. A fantastic place where to be. A lot of space. Even if you're a tall man, even if you have a tall man sitting on the front, like in this case, you know, the seat is set in a fairly backwards position. You can see that I still have a lot of legroom, and I'm very tall myself. A lot of legroom still. I can, you know, make myself comfortable. A lot of headroom. The Bentayga comes in a 4 or 5 seats configuration depending on what you choose. This one, of course, is a 5-seat configuration with the little armrest that you can put down. That's nothing special. Something that I do enjoy though is this little screen right here. This is absolutely fantastic. It's really an added touch for the rear passengers. There's a bunch of things that you can do. I will show them to you in a second, but my favorite feature, you can take it in your hands, and then from here you can control everything. Of course, we have the climate controls, So as you see the buttons here, climate, entertainment, you can choose the source, and at any moment just with this button you can put the volume up and down. Let's take it off so YouTube doesn't blame us for copyright. Vehicle data, seats you cannot do much in this one. It's just the heating, because in the newer version, if you have the extended wheelbase, you can also adjust all the seat, you know, the movement, the seat position, and then the settings of the system. I love when you go into vehicle data, you have the speedometer. So at any moment you also have some other data, the temperature, the date, the time, etc., and the time over here. But I love that at any moment you can set this and you can look at the speed that the car is going to, even from the rear seats. Some of the options that this car doesn't have, some of the very few, are the rear. As you can see, so basically in this car there's a focus missing. It's missing a focus on the rear passenger, because we have a 5 seats configuration, sorry, not the more comfortable 4 seats. We don't have the screens and we don't have the tablets. And this, with the missing chrome grille at the front that I showed you earlier, are basically the only options missing. For the rest, this car is extremely well equipped. You can see in this light a little bit that even the seat belt are the same color of the main hide of the car, which is the top part. It's the brown, they're not black. They may look black, but they're actually brown, which is the same color of the upper part of the dashboard over there. Moving to the trunk, I also have something interesting to show you. And by the way, have a look at this. Electric curtains, of course, for privacy and protection from the heat of the sun. At the back, something very interesting. I don't have the key, but if I had the key in my pocket, I could just kick her and she would open. Something I do particularly enjoy, apart from my luggage, that I will take away, so-called event seat. This feature that basically, under normal circumstances, or depending if you need to put stuff, like in my case, I just had the luggage, so I push it all the way back. But what you do is you want to have this all the way here, at the end of the trunk, then you press, you fix it down in place, then you press this button, this comes down, and then, ta-da, you get yourself a seat. So I can look at my beautiful girlfriend that is filming me, or at the sea of Monaco. Can't show you much because of the light, but you can see actually this side of Monaco very beautiful. We have a little view on the Casino, Hotel de Paris, etc., and then the rest is covered by Energy, this fantastic yacht over here, and then over there is the Condamine, the rest of Monaco, but the light doesn't allow me to show you much. So once again, the details, quilted leather, even on this seat that you will use perhaps once in your life. So once again, an option. I don't know how much this was. Another option can be seen here. Well, I mean, every car has this. It's just a button to raise and lower the suspensions for heavy luggage. When you're putting heavy luggage in the trunk, you can just let the back go up and down for you to. Another option is the jeweled fuel filler cap. It's got this shape, which is a bit aviation inspired, a bit race car like. Very, very nice. It's another touch. Every time you fuel the car, which is a lot, you at least touch something nice. So that's the advantage. It makes the pain a bit more sweet, a bit less painful, because I tell you, this car with their 6-liter W12, it's a beast of an engine, 600 horsepower, 900 newton meters of torque, 608 horsepower. It's a very, very, very powerful car, but she's so thirsty, you have no idea. So at least they put this thing, it's an option, so you have to pay for it. But at least when you go and open it up, for the infinite amount of times that you're gonna put gasoline in this car, it's gonna feel a bit better. One element that in my opinion makes this interior so beautiful is this center console over here. Firstly, because they try to make it look symmetrical. As you can see, we have on one side the gear controls with all the parking brakes, etc., and on the other side the cup holders. But have a look at the shape. The contour is exactly the same. I'm thinking this also helps them with the UK market, where we have a right-hand drive car, and so this whole part is moved to the right. For if you're driving here, you want to have the gear shift on the right side. More importantly, this part right here with the engine start and stop button and the modes selector. Modes that are very, very, very interesting, because you might have seen there's a B logo, there's a Bentley logo. This car has a Bentley driving mode, which is neither too comfortable, neither too fast, kind of how you would like to drive a Bentley. Then there is a comfort mode, which softens the car, it makes it a bit more lazy. As a matter of fact, too lazy for me. It's an option, it's a mode that I use only on the highway, because the accelerator really becomes lazy, especially if you're starting from zero. So in city driving, if I want the car to go, she has to go. Traffic, etc. So I never use comfort mode in the city. Sport mode speaks for itself, stiffens the suspensions, lowers the car, enhances the throttle response, and makes the gear shift faster. And then we have a bunch of off-road modes. We have Swamp, Minefield, Christmas, and Mexico over here. It's Bentley's attempt of trying to show they can make a serious off-roader, and I have no doubt that this can do it, because again, with their power, and I'm sure also her four-wheel drive system is very smart, so probably she can get through some off-roading. I tried to look up some videos of a Bentayga off-roading. I didn't find many, so probably no one that dares to take it outside of the smooth and paved roads. So how does she behave? On a daily basis, perfectly. My only complaint, the gasoline. She drinks too much. After all, it is a Bentley, she has a beast of an engine. They only do the W12 on this older version, which also came with a diesel. Now they don't do it anymore. On the new one, you can only get a V8 and a V6 hybrid. I've tried the V6 hybrid on a Flying Spur, I didn't like it. I haven't tried the V8, but someone that had both told me full view, the V8 feels way younger and consumes less, of course. I don't know, I will have to try it, but I can tell you this W12 feels amazing. If you put a sticker on the gasoline gauge, you forget about that, you will fall in love with this engine. It's like a jet taking off every time you hit the accelerator. It's a car that delivers. She's spacious, she's comfy, she's fast, she's powerful, she's everything you want. If I were to compare her with something similar but not so similar, I'm thinking about the Lamborghini Urus. It is a car that I know quite well. I drove it for a few months. They promise kind of the same things, with the exception that, of course, when you get in a Bentley, when you get in the Bentayga, you're getting in a Bentley, so it's like a lounge. When you get in a Lamborghini, it's a different sensation. They both have a lot of Audi shared parts, with the exception, I show you something. The Lamborghini Urus has the same stock for the driving assist, for the cruise control, etc. This is a Volkswagen part. This is a Volkswagen Audi part, and this one too. In the Urus Lamborghini, you have exactly the same, except that on the Bentayga, they took these bits and made it metal, so that you're touching something nicer. So see, these are the small attention to details that Bentley gives you. Despite being the same exact part that you have in an Audi Q7, in the Lamborghini, they take it and they put it copy-paste. Here, they make an effort to make it look and feel a bit nicer. So this is the difference. When it comes to the driving, of course, here in the corners, it's a 2.4 tons car. It's only 200 kilos heavier than the Urus, but still, the whole setup is different. It's made for comfort. The Urus, you throw it in the corner like a Muracano almost. Nevertheless, as a daily, a fantastic car. It's a car, once again, you can pick up on the market for a very reasonable amount of money for what she is, something that you cannot do with the Urus because they haven't depreciated as much. Again, if you're a young, dynamic person that likes to drive fast, perhaps you're gonna go with the Urus. But if you're someone a bit calmer, a bit more refined perhaps, because less rappers have this than a Urus, you may want to consider a Bentayga. There's a lot of other SUVs, but just I gave you a comparison off the top of my head. Overall, it's a car that makes me happy, and when I start her up, she doesn't sound too bad either. So you see, she gurgles a little bit. She makes a few bops even when you start her up, and this is normal Bentley mode. I will put her in sport. She will open up her exhaust. You can see a little bit, you can hear a bit the sound. Now I put it back in Bentley mode. You hear the vents, the flaps, the valves close off. So here she is, the Bentley Bentayga for you.